good, the bad, and the odd. They do go on.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd with your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, so this week is a free choice. It's your free choice. Tell everyone what
Mm.
you picked and why.
Okay, so kind of split up from, I think it was actually my last free choice, with how that ended, which was Thunderbolts a bit back. That ended on a cliffhanger for where the Fantastic Four showed up. And I realized I've never actually seen the film, and I'd heard it was pretty good, so I decided, yeah, let's go with that.
Right, I
Mm.
didn't know anything about this movie. It wasn't interested because anything Fantastic Four's not been. It's been okay, but
Yep.
not great. Um, so wasn't interested. I have to say, excellent choice, mate.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I mean, it's got that cool 60s futuristic vibe.
Mm.
It's almost
Like
like watching
Atomic
the
Punk.
Jetsons. It reminded me of the Jetsons, some
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Fallout had that. Well, that was more 50s though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is more 60s.
This
I
is
really
this is
enjoyed it.
literally set in 1964, so
Yeah, it also made me think of X-Men First Class, Days of
yeah,
Future Past a bit. But this goes even more 60s,
yeah,
with a trying to be looking to the future kind of
yeah.
60s.
It's
Yeah,
60s futurism, so it's all bubble cars and
bubble cars
lots
and
of gentle
primary
animals.
colours with white
Yes,
borders and things
very
like that.
bright colors,
Yes,
which is a nice change from the usual Marvel outfits. I'm gonna be
yeah,
frank.
yeah. Yeah. Before we get into spoilers, we'll just give our general opinions. Shall I go first? Is that all
Yep,
right?
you go ahead.
Really enjoyable. Really, really fun. I feel like with this and Thunderbolts, Marvel have got their mojo back somewhat, and I'm kind
Yeah,
of getting juiced now for the Avengers. What's it? I can't remember what it's called. The one that's
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Yeah,
It's also made me juiced to actually watch Brave New World as well.
yeah,
Get to that at some point. Maybe we'll cover that soon. Maybe I'll
mm.
have that as my next pick because we're on a roll with
Yeah.
this sort of thing, right? That seems quite a good idea. Yeah, I think we'll just do that as my in a so in
Okay. Yeah,
two episodes time. Just to cover it off. And we got Spider-Man coming soon as well, haven't
yeah.
we?
Spider-Man in
Um,
a couple of weeks.
I also watched recently the Punisher one-off, Last
Mm.
Kill or something like
Yeah.
that. Have you watched it?
No, not
I'd
yet.
recommend it. I'll give it a recommend. It's only 50 minutes. It's a
Okay.
one-off. It's a one-shot 50-minute, like winding up the Punisher's arc, or doing the next stage of the Punisher's arc. Let's put
Yeah,
it that
I
way.
presume it's making him a bit more. Well, I presume it is going to be brutal, but he's in the next Spider-Man, so
Yeah, which
yeah.
was a shocker when I saw that in the show. Frank Castle's in
He's
the
the
next
Punisher,
Spider-Man.
not the Shocker.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, it's like I found that quite. That's quite a mix. Daredevil's one thing, but Spider-Man, happy,
Mm,
cheerful Spider-Man. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'd recommend that too. Right, I'd
mm.
recommend that too. Um, this, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, highly recommend this. It's a nice breath of fresh air, very optimistic sort of bit of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Even separate to the Marvel I like licensing. Also, I think it's not it wouldn't be an unlike popular opinion to say this is the best of the Fantastic Four adaptions. Uh,
Yeah, I
like
think it's by far
like
the best.
while I like the sort of duology one that they did, where it was the Fantastic Four and then Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I like the second one better. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, of those.
Fan Four Stick. Less said about the better. This is great. Like everyone, it feels like because they are known as Marvel's first family. Like
Yes.
they feel like they are a family
Yeah,
versus
they did.
bickering group.
Yeah, and also it was very well written and very well cast and acted. There
Yeah,
was almost all of them, maybe not the thing so much in terms of lines and character development,
yeah.
but
Some
everyone else, it was what it was just. I mean, the acting was. I'm not talking about the thing. The guy that played the things acting is
mm,
he just wasn't given much dialogue.
yeah,
It was
he
quite
isn't.
functional, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
Admittedly, with all I've said, some characters in the four are more prominent. This is kind of a Sue Storm movie.
It
versus
is.
the
Yeah,
others.
it is. And Vanessa Kirby's great as Sue Storm. Has
Hmm.
to be said. Really good. Right, okay, we'll get into spoilers from this point on, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a recommend from us, I think.
Yeah, it's both recommend from
So
both
it's
of
on
us.
Disney Plus too, there's that.
Yeah.
Also, no, I just noticed as we started, I looked up the director. He directed WandaVision, which
Mm.
does feel a similar vibe. Some of it feels a similar
Yeah.
vibe to
Well,
this,
the
right? Not all of it.
60s sitcom stuff, yeah, definitely
Yes, yeah,
feels
yeah,
more like this.
yeah. This is just a fun movie. I
Mm.
think Pedro Pascal's really good as Reed Richards, really
Mm.
good. But the standout for me is Vanessa Kirby Sue Storm.
Yeah.
Though I also really liked the actor that played Johnny Storm too. He's
Mm.
Eddie Munson in um, Stranger Things season
Okay.
4. He was
Yeah.
really good as Eddie Munson.
Yeah.
And
Joseph Quinn.
yeah, British actor.
Mm.
He's really good as Johnny Storm. And we also get Mark Gatiss really appearing very briefly as like a chat show host. And I
Yeah.
was assuming he was going to be somehow prominent, but he wasn't. He was just the chat show host.
No. It's a
Um,
nice little reference. From what I gather, that's the whole aesthetic of that bit is the Beatles on Ed Sullivan.
right.
That's what they're going for with the
Right, that makes
on
sense.
the
And
page there.
the actual lettering of the show looks very that like of that style.
Mm.
Some of this reminded me of the musical Hairspray, as well,
Okay.
in terms of happy fonts,
Mm.
60s kind of fonts on every, big old fonts and stuff like that. We also get Ralph Ineson as playing Galactus.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean he's got
Yeah.
a great speaking
It's
voice.
terrifying.
Yes.
Ralph Ineson sounds like the devil. So
He's quite an effective actor, though he's kind of we don't get his usual stronger accent in this, do we? It's much
no.
more toned
He
down his accent.
yeah, he's it's very don't know how to describe it other than Estuarian. Like he overpronounces the word.
Yes, yes.
And
But
it
that's
does come across.
Galactus.
Yeah, he comes across. It makes him come across more as someone who's speaking sort of beyond human than someone who's just speaking English. So
Yeah, Galactus is quite something in this.
yeah.
And we also have one of my characters I've always liked, but you know what? I'm trying to remember something from the comic books about this character, and I just can't remember it. But I always liked this character, Silver Surfer,
Hmm.
which I think is
Yeah.
why I like the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie more than the first Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
The sequel with Silver Surfer, I really liked it. And then,
Yeah.
again, I think Silver Surfer came across really a little more, maybe, but it was good enough. It
Yeah.
was you certainly got the point, and basically, Johnny figured out her story, right? So
Yeah.
Silver Surfer in this one, by the way, is female. In the
Yes, they
original
they used a
comics.
different version of the character
Yeah,
to
and that's
stand
fine.
alone. The
Now,
original
one
one,
for
Norrin Rad, this one, Shalabal. I know they've both been the Silver Surfer in the comics at separate times.
okay. Oh, okay. So there is okay. So it's a bit like Green Lanterns, then, right?
Yeah,
There's
multiple
multiple.
people have
Yeah.
been the Silver Surfer.
Right, right. I like this. I always like the Silver Surfer,
Mm.
and this one was, yeah, no exception. It was really
Mm.
well done, and
Her introductory speech is great. So I
yes,
herald his beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactus.
I Herald Collectors. She's given how little dialogue she had
Mm.
and little screen time, very effective in the role,
Yeah, she's
um,
very creepy until
and
the
sympathetic.
sort of character flip.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I just, I know I'll save this to when we get to talking about the end.
Mhm.
It was something I would have preferred happen with the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, and we almost missed out on Paul Walter Hauser, Stingray himself from from
yeah.
Cobra Kai.
When you first see a shot of him, he's Mole. Is it Mole Man?
Yeah, he's the mole
Mole
man.
Man. When you first see a shot of him, I was thinking, is that Stingray?
Yeah,
And it is Stingray doing his Stingray thing. He's always quite effective. He's great at Stingray, and he's pretty good here.
yeah,
Small part again,
yeah.
but
Guy's a
quite
very
effective.
charismatic actor, and it's
Yes,
more of a comedic role what he
yeah,
does.
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
given his small screen time, it fills it beautifully. Has to be
Yes.
said. Um, so I have to ask this because I don't really know much about the Marvel Universe. It says specifically this is Earth 828,
Yeah.
right? So that's a parallel dimension
It's
Earth.
another universe in Marvel. There's at this point in the actual cinematic universe, everyone's kind of accustomed to the multiverse because
Yes,
so many
indeed.
films have done it.
Yeah.
The sort of main Marvel universe is the main comic universe is Earth 616. I think
So
it's named after
is
the
our Earth 616? Is that right?
no, so like the actual book story of the comics.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
where your original Amazing Spider-Man, Invincible Iron Man, Mighty Thor, all the ones they started on, that's Earth 616.
Okay, I see.
Then
Because
there's the
this one,
cinematic universe, which is I think it's one and a lot of nines. I can't remember exactly.
okay,
But basically they've this one's Earth 838. It's a side bit to the
yeah,
cinematic
it's
universe.
clearly very, 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 very close to our Earth.
Mm,
I mean, there's even songs in the background, right?
yeah,
there's familiar songs in it, so you know
yeah,
it. If I think if you don't know anything about this, it doesn't matter. You just assume it's a parallel version of our Earth, right?
yeah.
Um, um, we don't get any backs. Well, sorry, we don't get any
We
origin story.
we
We
get
get it
some brief
explained. Yeah,
we
go on.
get some exposition from the from Mark Gatz's TV show host, who's just like they went up as astronauts and came back as demigods, sort of thing. And you see footage of them as just humans.
Yeah,
Uh, like you see Ebon Moss Bacharach, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Apologies if not. But that you see him instead of the big rock
the
man of
thing.
the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when they come out, they are the Fantastic Four, and
Mm.
it looks like they've been doing good ever since because they're treated
Yeah,
with high respect and well loved throughout the earth, right?
yeah. They've
And
kind
seen
of
as Earth's
unified
guardians.
everyone. Like
Yes,
everyone's under the same like it's everyone's kind of under the same like agreements. Like no one's there's no wars going on. Everyone's trading. Everyone's got these kind of futuristic tech thanks to Reed Richards sharing it out,
yeah,
and
Reed
Susan
Richards.
Storm negotiating under the Future Foundation, which is another Fantastic Four thing. They
Yeah,
from the
and I really
comics.
like this because I think Vanessa Kirby absolutely sold she'd be a great speaker and diplomat because
Mm,
she basically taught, and convinced
everyone to
people.
agree. Yeah.
Mole Man, even the Mole Man had respected
Yeah,
Sue Storm, right?
they
And he
introduced
hated
Mole
the rest of
Man.
them.
Yeah, they introduced Mole Man by him dropping a building into Subterranea.
Yeah,
And then later on, they showed that Subterranea has an embassy, and Mole Man says to the camera, "It's like, I didn't do this for humanity. I did this because Sue asked." And
yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
So
And
Sue
so,
is a very powerful person
yeah,
in this version of the Fantastic Four. And she's great. You know what? It's really weird. Every time I don't encounter the Fantastic Four for quite a while, I only ever remember her being able to turn invisible. I completely forget
mm,
about all her, movement powers, and
yeah,
shield powers. And they're and I used to read the comics when I was a kid. I know about the car and the
yeah.
bubbles and all that sort of stuff. So, but I just
Mm.
forget it. I just forget it. So
Maybe we
this
should find you a Fantastic Four run to get started with.
maybe
Yeah,
um, the it does like it starts kind of mid flow, doesn't it? This
yeah.
we get a bit of that backstory and we see
Reed
Reed
and
Richards
Sue
looking
kind
for
of,
something like
yeah.
was it iodine or something?
Yeah,
I
he's
can't.
looking for some sort of like lotion
And
rub
she
sort of
says,
thing.
"I'll be with you in I don't know 38
12
seconds or so."
seconds or something. And
And he goes,
he's
"That's
like, that's
very
really precise.
specific."
So,
And she's in a bathroom looking down at something. You kind of know what it is because it's a
yeah.
woman in a bathroom waiting for something to happen, which is a pregnancy test. Every
Yeah,
single
the
time.
language of film. Yeah, it's a
Yes,
pregnancy test.
pregnancy
And
test.
she kind of sort of slowly walks out while he's still looking around in a very Reed Richards way. He ignores it up until it's right in front of him.
Yeah, she
So,
puts it on the counter and he looks at it. And Johnny, who is Sue's brother, um, is really pleased. And Ben is
Oh, they do a fairly funny thing because they mention during it that, and they've talked about it in the promotional material as well. That they always have like dinner on Sundays. They always sit together and eat, and they do have some shenanigans where like Johnny's eating cereal at the same time,
yeah.
and like Ben's criticizing the cooking, which is apparently a joke about The Bear, the TV show that Moss Barak's from.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah,
don't want to say, so I wouldn't know.
yeah. Apparently,
Um,
it's really good. Not watched it
yeah,
myself,
how he
but
keeps
it's
going about, I want to spruce it up with a bit. It's perfect now. Oh, and they got a little
yeah.
talking robot called
Herbie.
Herbie,
Yes.
and he's sort of saying it's perfect now, but a little garlic can spruce it up and all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And he's been
I
quite
like this
fussy.
weird little tape deck robot.
Yeah, it's got basically real like tape reels for eyes,
Mm.
and things like that. But it's kind of a bit like Wally. It's a bit
Yeah.
like Wally, a bit.
It
Um,
doesn't really talk. It just kind of beeps and
beeps,
whistles. It's
beeps.
very
Yeah,
R2D2, but
yeah,
it's basically does everything around the place. What that's not the one of the four's main jobs. So like Reed's
yeah,
doing science, Ben's enjoying himself down in New York, Johnny's translating stuff, Sue's like doing ambassadorial stuff. Herbie is cleaning, cooking, and baby proofing eventually. So
yeah. I really like this dinner scene because it basically, while it is shortcutting sort of a discount, it basically shows you how close they are as a team.
yeah.
Because as soon as Sue sits down,
Ben kind of
Ben
looks at her and just
goes,
goes, "Are
"Why are
you
you being
pregnant?"
weird? Are you pregnant?" And she's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah."
yeah.
And it's funny that he kind of worked it out immediately.
Yeah, that's the thing
Uh,
about I do know about the thing in the comics is like he is one of the more intuitive people. Like
right.
he's smart and very emotionally mature. So like he'll invite people around if he knows they're having a bad time. I think he's the one that really got Spider-Man to be friends with the Fantastic Four, even though I
Right.
know Johnny Storm became Spider-Man's main friend in it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Well, it makes
he's a
sense.
very
Yeah.
smart guy, just not
Yes.
in the same sort of sense as Reed Richards.
Yes.
No, that makes its own like dynamic between the two. So,
So there's a lot of Reed Richards testing, doing various tests on the baby, and even do a
hmm.
test with Sue's special powers.
Well, no,
And things like
he wants to make sure that their power, basically their powers, haven't affected the baby in a negative way
yeah,
because they don't know what a child with the pet that's been affected by cosmic rays like they have would
yeah,
be like. So
yes,
they Reed's running all sorts of tests, and there's a lot of snark between him and Sue, where he's like she's like you should have been building a crib. I saw you making Herbie build the crib, and and he's like I built this scanner. No one else is going to have a scanner like this. We're going
yeah,
to make sure that baby's safe.
yeah.
Uh, and she just kind of goes, okay, and then makes her whole stomach invisible so he can look at the baby. And it's like, yeah, you need a scanner for this, do you?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I do. I love how these guys have like made the Earth so much better by their technological sort of what they've brought to the world, and Sue's diplomacy, making the world a peaceful place. It's
Mm.
really cool. It's really cool.
They reach a point where they kind of eliminated crime, and that happens during the film. Like they walk out to a balcony and Reed points out, it's like, okay, so I figured out a scanner. The Diablo's over there, the Mad Thinker's there, and you just see police kind of swarm those places.
Yeah, and you
And
see
it's
all their
like,
various weird nemesis. I mean, Mole
yeah,
Man's quite a famous one. Uh, Doctor Doom, we
yeah,
don't see. Well,
uh,
we'll leave that for now. But
yeah. There's,
Doom is them usually their main nemesis, isn't he?
mm,
In many respects, but
yeah,
he's kind of legit as well. So it's kind of a weird to and fro with them.
yeah.
Um,
They do a very fun recreation of the original Fantastic Four #1 cover with the big monster coming out of the road.
yeah,
Everyone sort of throwing punches at it. Yeah, it's really quite nice. But as they're stood there watching the police go about, the sky kind of
yeah.
ignites.
Just before we get to that, I just want to mention they also show a clips from the Fantastic Four uh, c- um, animated series, which is kind of funny.
Yes, they
Clobbering
put
time and all
that.
that.
Yeah, they put that in universe, and they do make a point of like people ask the thing to say it's clobbering time, and he's
And
like,
he's
"No,
a bit sick of it, right?
that's just for the cartoon. I don't actually do that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Johnny
and
kind of winds him up about it, right? Anyway,
yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
So
What's the next bit?
they immediately just like, Johnny, go ahead, go out, and he takes off because he in this he has like fire absorbing powers as well as
Yeah,
his
which I've not
wings.
seen before, and I don't remember it being part of the lore
Yeah,
of
I can't. As far as I knew, it was just he is fire, pretty
fire.
much.
Yes,
Um,
but he
and
could put out fires in this, couldn't he? Which is cool.
yeah, he could like suck the flames out of a building, sort of
Yeah.
thing. So he flies out, but the meteors all burn up on entry, and a woman on a surfboard shows up. We know this is Silver Surfer,
Silver
and
Surfer.
makes a very grandiose speech about how to hug your loved ones, like he is coming, that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's no hope. This is a
Mm,
doomed place, all this kind of stuff. It warns them Galactus is coming, and Galactus is a devourer of planets.
yeah,
So Reed studied. As she's
Johnny
leaving,
chases her.
Johnny
Yeah.
Johnny chases her into space, even, and now
Mm.
he seems to be able to breathe. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
no, he flies up
Is it
to a
right on
certain
the
point
edge?
and his fire goes out. So
Yes,
that's what happens. But he's able to grab the board,
and she just
and
looks him in the
she
eye and
looks at him
says,
and says something in alien, and
"Yeah."
we don't learn what this means for a bit.
And he falls back to her. He comes back to Earth.
Yeah.
But she said a certain phrase to him, and he keeps saying, "I've heard this before.
Hmm.
Where have I heard this?"
Now, as a side thing, they have been picking up signals from outer space and emblazoning them onto gold discs, which I quite liked. It looks like a vinyl record player, and it's as it
But on a
slowly
gold
goes in,
disc,
it
yeah,
like scratches out the sound. It's
yeah.
very very funny. Um, but
So they've got recordings from, I think, possibly other civilizations from space, haven't
mm,
they? So they've also Johnny's been working on that too, right? But
yeah,
it's sort of
Johnny's kind of doesn't have much to do in this
no,
early part of the film.
no. So he's
He's
kind
the
of
one building
doing
rapport with the surfer, though.
yeah.
Very
So
funny.
he does mention, I think
I
she
think there was a connection, and
connection.
then they all
Ben
immediately
Grimm's like,
start like
there we go.
like ribbing on him. It's like, oh yeah, you found the alien, this space lady, the
And
track.
there's
Like,
he's
you think there
saying,
was a connection? It's
well,
like,
she was naked. He goes, no, and read like, no, I don't think she was naked. She was wearing a special polymer or
hmm,
something,
yeah.
sort of
Uh,
metallic polymer.
but
Um,
now the four decides like, okay, we're gonna go to space. We're gonna see if we can reason with Galactus because we can track where the surfer came from. So they're just
yeah,
gonna basically follow her trail back
is this
to
the
see if
point they've also worked out a trail of planets that have disappeared
yes. So
as well?
they word that back and they find one that's like, oh, it's still there. So let's go.
Yeah,
And they take their rocket ship. They have like a neat little hyperspace ring thing that they slot their ship, which is called the Excelsior, by the way, which is quite
yes, the
sweet.
chips, the Excelsior. Is that? It
Yeah.
reminded me a bit of the Jedi, in Attack of the Clones, the
Yeah, the
Jedi
Jedi
Starship
Starfighters.
with the
Yeah.
going into the ring so it can do hyperspace.
Mm.
But this has a similar thing. They call it an FTL,
The
faster than
FTL
light
ring. Yeah.
ring. So they go to the new planet, arrive, and it's a bit Earth-like.
Yeah. They
It's
say it's bigger
bigger
than
than
Earth.
Earth. It's bigger
They
than
say
Earth.
it's like 14% larger or something like that.
Yeah, but just as they arrive, it's there, and then it's just disintegrated.
Yeah.
Galactus's ship
As
just disintegrates it.
yeah.
Um, and then they get caught in a big red tractor beam.
Mm.
And isn't this where the Silver Surfer just comes through the wall and sort of says you should not have come?
Yeah, but before the she comes through, the tractor beam kind of there's like a scan and it locks in slowly on Sue's belly.
Yes, it scans each of them, but
Yeah.
specifically then on Sue's belly.
Mm.
Um, so there, Galactus, who's massive, he must be what
Yes, it's
100 foot
colossal.
tall or more,
Easily.
at
Like
least
he
probably
when he
200.
shows up later in the films, he towers over most of the New York
Yeah,
skyline.
and he's about
So
twice the size of probably twice as tall as or more as Statue of Liberty, say, right?
easily, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so Galactus says, "I used to be small like you." things like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you come
And
to
then the
beg,
hunger. So
yeah,
yeah,
he talks about hunger and
yeah.
drives him to destroy planets. Um, and he can't. He's been doing it for
So
millions,
long he
billions.
doesn't. Yeah, he
Yeah,
doesn't even remember
um, yeah. So, but he also senses that the unborn child has
the power
some sort of
cosmic. Yeah.
the power cosmic, which could take the hunger from him,
Mm.
or something.
Yeah.
It's a bit ambiguous. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I know Franklin Richards in the comics is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Like he just has kind of the power to do anything. So he just kind of is this focal point of a lot of plans,
Okay.
really.
See, I
So
don't know this
this is
character at all.
yeah, this is an
Franklin
out
is the name of
character.
the baby to be born. Just so everyone knows.
Yes, just so we're clear, Franklin Richards is the child. They do have another child as well in
Oh,
the
do
comics
they?
called
Oh, okay.
Valeria, but
Okay.
yeah, that comes along later.
Yeah, and he
Not all
basically
in this film.
says,
She is.
"I will spare your planet if you give me your son."
Yeah,
So like no.
yeah.
um,
They're immediately like that. We can't accept that, and he goes shame and looks at her, and she goes into labor.
she goes into
It's
labor.
like whoa, okay, that's
Yeah.
kind of creepy. That's a very weird specific power.
Yeah, so they're trying to escape, and
Yeah.
they rush into the FTL while being pursued by the Silver Surfer and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They
This
manage
is
to get to it.
Johnny and Ben put up a good fight against the Surfer and Galactus.
Yes,
They cut all these like feeding tubes because you see the rock of the planet getting melted down and then fed into tubes on his back.
yeah, and it's almost kind of it's like a refinery, isn't it, or
Yeah,
something?
the whole ship is a refinery that just like funnels into his back.
Yeah,
While he's sat on the throne, he just eats.
yeah. So they're trying to escape. Meanwhile, Sue's gone into labour. So
Yeah.
not only are they trying to escape, they've got to deal with Sue going into labour, and
Mm.
doesn't Reed have to turn on the gravity or do something to induce
So
gravity?
what they have to do is because the ship just has no gravity while they're in FTL, and the surfer is chasing them.
Yeah,
They're like, we need to sort this out. So they kind of drift past a black hole,
yeah,
and then they drop the FTL ring to bait the Silver Surfer. So she sees it going to the black hole. She gets too close and gets pulled in.
yeah.
But they're still circling a black hole because they need. Reed says it quite clearly. It's like you need to be able to push, and to do that, you need to have gravity.
Gravity, right? Yeah. So
This is also following us like a really spooky scene where the surfer's able to get in the ship and starts to reach through
to the
Sue's stomach.
baby, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
they managed to
they are able
hit
to
the
get into
FTL.
FTL just as that happens. But the surfer's able to catch up a bit.
The surfer's still so powerful she can chase with an FTL, and Johnny's trying to shoot lasers at her, but it's bending. The wormhole is
Yeah,
making it bend and stuff, so he can't
yeah.
get a good look
They
at
end up
her.
having to like do trick shots
It's really cool.
where it goes around.
This
It's
is
a
all
very good
really
action
cool. Yeah,
sequence.
yeah. It's very intense and exciting, and
Yeah,
you're concerned about the baby, Sue and the baby and stuff like that.
yeah. It's
So
a fun contrast to like previous Sue Storms who have been quite like milk toast about
yeah,
things. When this one's like she's trying to take your nephew Johnny, kill her.
killer,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
killer. And you want me to kill? Yes. So
yeah,
yes. So they managed to get back to Earth with the
yeah,
baby. Um,
yeah.
Now, probably through
After a
time
quite sweet
dilation, they
scene,
say
what?
it's a month has gone
Yeah,
by on Earth, hasn't it?
they do have quite a sweet scene where after she finally does give birth, they all kind of like sit around looking at the baby, just sort of taking it
Oh
all in
yeah,
for a
yeah, it's
bit.
really cool, really cool.
Right.
But
Mm.
they get back in there, they get back pretty quickly. But in Earth time, it's a month has passed, and they
Yeah,
immediately taken to a news conference where Reed Richards
yeah.
says
It's like
he
the price
wanted
was too high,
the price was too high, and he said,
and
"What
then
was
someone
the
goes, "What
price?"
was it?"
He said
And
they
Reed,
wanted our son. Now this starts turning people against him. It's like, well, if you can give him
yeah,
your baby and save the world, why don't you?
yeah.
And so
This
the
is
crowds are angry at them, right?
yeah, and
And
there's a
people,
bit here that I did really like because Reed's not necessarily a nice person in the comics. He's part of the reason that Hulk got thrown off the Earth. He's one of the Illuminati.
That is that
If
is
you remember the
acknowledged in the script, isn't it?
yeah,
Sorry, go on.
so if you remember in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, that sort of group, he's part of that.
Oh,
That's
right.
fully in character. He's John Krasinski is playing him in that film, but
Right.
it's still a very in character thing for him to basically be like, yeah, we kind of could, and that would solve the problem.
Yeah.
But in this, it's in a very much a more considerate version of him because he feels guilty for immediately like thinking that.
Yeah, and Sue catches on that you've
Yeah,
considered it, haven't you? You've
yeah,
considered it. He goes,
you've
I'm
turned
never
it round
doing
in your
that.
head.
I'm never doing that. And they're like, what are you going to do? He goes, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. And he starts talking about Archimedes, give me a fulcrum and the right lever and I can move the world.
yeah,
And he starts trying to consider that. What can they do to stop Galactus?
yeah.
And the people are starting to turn against them. People
Mm.
giving the thing shit as he's walking down. He often
Yeah, they're
goes
throwing
wandering in
stuff
New
at him.
York, doesn't he? This is
Yeah,
set.
he goes and visits his old neighborhood, and
Yeah,
the
and he
kids at the
goes to
nearby
see a
school are
woman. I never quite understood the relationship, but he's got kind of a bond with a woman, and
yeah,
he
he's
likes
got a
kids.
bit of a thing for and all the
Yeah.
kids at the school she teaches at can see it, and they're all going like ooh through the
Ooh.
gates.
And she likes him, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Um,
mutual.
so there's a bit of that, but it's not
Yeah.
particularly developed or anything.
No,
A
unfortunately, they don't
little.
really have time to
No,
develop it. This
no,
film
no.
could kind of use with an extra half an hour to wrap up to give the rest of the four some more screen time
Possibly.
and like
But I quite
character.
appreciate this is an under 2 hour film because I get Marvel does kind of get blown. No, I understand it in big old films
Mm,
like, Endgame,
it's your
but
Avengers,
when it's
yeah,
like your Ant-Mans and stuff, keep it under 2 hours.
yeah, yeah,
Um, um, so anyway,
yeah.
yeah,
So
this,
there's actually a really good scene where Sue walks out into a rioting crowd holding her baby, Franklin.
yeah,
And she brings a speech that rounds up with, it's like, I'm not sacrificing my son for the world, but I'm also not going to sacrifice the world for my son.
yeah.
We're
We
gonna
can see
find
why she's
something
such a good
else.
speaker
Yeah,
and, such a good diplomat. She
mm,
turns the crowd
yeah,
from angry to understanding, right?
yeah. And
Um,
following that, they do come up with a plan involving a little doodad that Reed had been making to make teleportation possible.
yes.
And they've been teleporting an egg across the room, but it always throws the power off when they do
Right.
it because
Right.
it's so power intensive. But they're like, we could use that. We could do this.
Somehow. Um,
Just we
and
needed a lot of them.
basically he builds a mass. He realizes what they can do is
Mm,
actually teleport the entire Earth to another solar system where
mm,
Galactus won't know where they are.
yeah,
And it says it's like it'll be exactly the same as now, which is like
yeah.
that's a big ask.
Yeah, that's kind of a running theme because they say at the start it's like, well, nothing's gonna change. We're gonna do this great, and then by the end they're like, everything has changed. They've had a baby,
Yeah,
so like
yeah. Um,
that's part
so
of it. It's like
yeah,
nothing's gonna change, but everything's gonna change.
they want to
So
teleport just before Galactus gets there.
mm.
Um,
And so
now,
they get everyone on board with this.
but Johnny does have a little
Yeah.
conversation. The Silver Surfer turns
Yes,
up again.
back on the ship, when they were visiting, Johnny was able to have a brief word with the Silver Surfer and ask what she told him. And it was she says it was a blessing, but she repeats it, and he was able to record what she said,
Yeah, and
and
that
he's able to use that and the other messages they've got to reverse engineer her language.
her language. Yes, he's basically got a Rosetta Stone for an alien, right?
Yeah,
So he's worked it out, and he cracks it just as things are kicking off, and they're about to zap the planet. So
yeah,
he doesn't have time to tell them any of this.
yeah. So
Anyway,
they just all go into like work mode. So they're
now
like,
the
okay,
entire Earth
London,
has had
Moscow.
to cooperate to
Yeah,
produce all the resources and produce, and they've even had power cuts every certain days, so it conserves the energy to be that's needed for this thing. And there's a joke where Ben Grim
Yeah, he's
is
trying to shave.
shaving with, I think, an angle grinder or something.
Yeah,
um, but he can't, so he's kind of got a rock beard
yeah.
growing.
I
And
did quite like a bit
yeah,
here where
that's
Johnny walks past and just goes, "Nice beard," and Ben just goes, he like looks at him for a moment. It's like, really? Thanks. It's like,
yeah,
oh, these guys are nice. Like they'll rib each
yeah.
other, but they do actually like each other.
Oh yeah,
It's
they
a
do,
nice
but they
change from
Johnny's always
Avengers.
giving
And,
him aggravation, isn't he? But
yeah.
they fundamentally like each other. It's banter. It's banter, really.
Mm.
Um, so he keeps the beard the rest of the film. That stays in.
Yeah.
Um, so they're about to start powering up, and they start the countdown, and suddenly something weird comes on one of the sensors,
Yeah. One of them just turns off,
and
and then
essentially we
another,
see
and
the Silver
another.
Surfer going between each of them, smashing it up
Mm.
really fast.
Yeah.
So uh, we
It
know
gets
she's a
to
herald, and she's not happy about it. We kind of got that from the film, right? She's a herald but she doesn't really like doing it, which is straight out of the comics, isn't it? I'm pretty sure
yeah.
it's comics. So they're called bridges. He calls these things bridges, but they're kind of being smashed out one by one. So there's only one left.
Mm.
But Johnny manages to stop her destroying the last
Yeah.
bridge, and
He intercepts her
and then starts
using
playing messages in her
yeah,
own language back to her. And she's kind of stops her in her tracks,
yeah.
right? Because she doesn't understand how and he explains, and he says, I know your name's Shalabel, and you became Galactus' herald
Mm.
just to save your own planet. And we
Yeah.
have messages from your planet sending thanks out to you.
Mm.
Um,
And this kind of drives her to grief. We get a flashback as well, showing
yeah,
her on her planet with
with
a
her
presumably
daughter.
her daughter,
Yeah.
and kind of giving that all up to save it.
Yeah, and we see her being beamed up basically
And
by
yeah, turn to
Galactus.
silver,
Turn to
and
silver.
the board forms under her. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very unsettling little scene. But
Yeah.
the grief drives her away completely. She just flies off, and I think you see it past Jupiter, like in the sky.
Yeah,
She
she's just gone.
disappears.
We think she's gone from the film, right?
Yeah.
She's just in grief, or confusion, or guilt,
Mm,
or whatever it is.
yeah.
Um,
Presumably a
so
combination of everything.
these are,
So
and then because Johnny plays back messages from planets she did help destroy.
yeah,
People
there's
screaming and
screams and
bits
terror
scared.
and begging.
Yeah. So they've only got one bridge left. So well, we can't do the planet on one bridge.
Yeah, we
And
can't
then they
move it.
Reed works out we can
We can
use
move
it to send
Galactus.
Galactus to a different part of the
Yeah.
universe, and without his ship, which means he's got no way of coming back.
Mm,
But we got to get him on his feet here.
yeah.
And then
And they
says,
do
right, you
they
want to
do a
use
lot of good like world not really world building, but establishing that the four do care about people. Because I know since Man of Steel, really, it's been a lot of like, well, what about the civilians in the superhero movies?
yeah, Ben
And they,
Grimm
yeah,
is usually the first to raise it, right? And
yeah. Well, Ben does raise it here.
yeah,
It's like, well, we don't know which way he's going to come from, and there's thousands in each direction.
yeah,
We gotta evacuate New York, and they've got like less than a day to do it.
yeah.
And it's like, well, how are we gonna do that? Mole
Uh,
Man,
well,
Subterranea.
Sue says like, I've got an idea, but you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And they call on Mole Man, who turns up and like
Mm.
giving everyone shit,
Oh
especially
yeah,
Reed. He goes, "You can
it's
apologize now. I want you to butter it on," and all
yeah.
this.
Butter me up.
And
I want
basically,
to hear it.
Sue's like, "I'll leave," and she just talks to him, and he stops the shit completely as soon as it's just him and her. Right? It's just,
Yeah, I
"What
do
do you
quite
want me
like
to
it
do?"
because she just kind of looks at him and just goes Harvey, and he's like, I know, I just have to, and
Yeah,
and then it's just smash cut to buses driving into Subterranea.
yeah, and
He's like,
he's
welcome, surface dwellers.
surface fellas, please wipe your feet before you go in. I'm kidding. It's all dirt. It's fine.
Yeah,
And stuff like that. And
yeah,
basically, they've got to lure Galactus from his ship onto the surface.
yeah.
How are they going to do that?
Well,
Soon
they
realize you've
know.
considered using Franklin. And
Yeah.
Reed's no, we're not using Franklin. I've got to think of another way. And he goes, no, we got to use Sue's like more practical. We haven't got time for anything else. We've got to use Franklin,
Mm,
right? Um,
yeah.
so
So they come up with like basically an indestructible baby carrier for him.
yes,
And
and Gal-
they put it in the middle of the portal, and then they wait. And
yeah.
Galactus
So
lowers
I was
himself.
confused. I said, "Well, what's going to stop the baby going into it?" I didn't realize, but we see it
Yeah,
develop, right? Galactus lands in the harbour, New York Harbour, and walks out
yeah.
of the water, towers over the Statue of
I
Liberty,
do like the bit where he reaches down and scoops up a bit of ground
and
and like
sniffs
sniffs
it.
it. And it's like, oh, he's like being a sommelier for planets.
Yeah,
Like he's just like, get the
he's
fragrance, get
wetting
the
his
earthy undertones.
he's
So,
letting his appetite develop, right?
yeah,
Um, so yeah, so then he starts approaching, and he is massive.
yeah,
So they're trying to sort of get him to fall into the trap, and he's walking towards them. And Reed's been like, as soon as he crosses that line, that's when
yeah,
we do it. He knows where the baby is, so he's coming. But
yeah.
they sort of bait and
They
switch by using Johnny to
they
sort of
blast his
fire across
eyes.
his
Yeah,
eyes, Ben. And at that point, Johnny flies, takes Franklin, leaves him with the robot,
yeah,
but they've got a fake baby carriage, another baby carriage sitting in the
yeah.
middle. So Galactus still thinks the baby's there. Galactus ain't that stupid. He
No,
gets to
he
the
like
line.
stops just before stepping and then like looks at the carrier and then he just goes, clever insects. And
Yes.
looks at at the Baxter building. And
It
the
sees him there.
immediate's like, this has gone so terribly wrong. And they all have to like rush to the Baxter building, which they don't do before he gets there. He
Yes. Yeah.
We get a quite kind of sweet bit where Herbie's trying to like keep Franklin calm. He's
Yeah.
singing little songs to him, and when
Yeah.
Galactus eventually punches into the building, he tries to cover him, but that's the last we see of Herbie, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. We also do get a little before all this, a little stuff about well, what's special about the baby. They can't figure out what Galactus can see in the baby. They can't
Mm,
figure it out. And like Reed's saying, if you are a galactic cosmic being, be a good time to tell me.
yeah,
Oh no, you're too busy peeing. As the
yeah,
baby's gurgling. There's some of that, right? So,
yeah,
but basically, Galactus is trying to head towards the building. They're trying to stop him. Sue's got a car, and
yeah.
you know,
Sue's in the Fantastic Car. Ben Ribs kind of throwing oil trucks at
yeah, and getting Johnny
Galactus.
to light him, but it's just not bothering. Reed's
Mm,
trying to jump on him and open the vents at his back to try and let
mm,
out the magma that's in
yeah.
there. It reminded me a bit of the Jason and the Argonaut, you know.
Yeah, that might be the illusion there. It's like he's Talos. Uh,
Yes, like
but uh,
Talos.
but
Um,
yeah, we get a kind of gruesome bit where Galactus is able to grab him and just starts like stretching
stretching
him.
him, and we see the limits of his stretching because he's like is being pulled apart
Yeah,
nearly, right? Um,
his uniform starts to snap, and that's if it is like the comics, that's literally designed to stretch as much as he needs it.
okay, that's
So
a clever touch then.
yeah.
But I can't remember how now. He something happened. Was it Johnny does
So
something?
in the scuffle, Ben got thrown into low orbit. Johnny flew up and saved him. And
Yes.
as they're flying back, Johnny's goes like, "You know what time it is, Ben? You know what time it is? Shut up, Johnny." It's like, "What
I'm
time
not
is it,
saying
Ben?"
it. I'm
It's
not
like, "I'm not
saying it.
saying it. What time is it, Ben?" It's like, "It's clobbering time." And
And it,
they just spear into Galactus, and that causes
in
him
the
to
chin.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drop
but
Reed. But he
he
has got
gets the baby. Like
baby.
he's
Now
holding the baby, and he's like, "The hunger will cease," sort of thing.
yeah. So
And
he
this Sue crashed the car
but
after trying to distract him, but she's able to sort of stumble out, and she sees the baby, and this kind of activates Mama Bear,
yes.
and she
She
just
turns on the
force
full
pushes
force.
Galactus about.
Yeah, towards the the portal where he's got
Mm.
to be.
And the rest of the fight is very much the other three trying to basically remove handholds so the
Yes.
Galactus is
Yeah,
is
Ben's
always on
running
the
through
back foot.
building structures to bring them down so he can't hold on to it
Johnny's
and stuff.
melting stuff. Reed's like
Yeah.
scrambling up stuff
But
to
they're
try and
also
get
trying
the
to save the
baby.
baby. They're also getting
Yeah.
the baby. But then they managed to get Galactus in the portal, and there's only like 37 seconds or something, and he's gone through, and they think they've done it. But
Mm.
we see when Sue's doing it, like Reed say, "Stop! This is
It's
too
too
much,
much.
too
Yeah.
much," and she's just not caring, right?
No, she's
She's
just
pushing
like
this.
blasting him.
She's just blasting with her full power, but it's obviously draining her, and it's like
Oh
it's
yeah.
her
It's
anger's
it's
managed.
it's doing a lot of things to her.
Yeah,
And she forces him to the portal and collapses in the
yeah, it
background.
collapses, and they all go to
And
her.
they're able to get him in the portal, and there's a kind of funny bit where Ben's like, "Hey Reed, we did it!" And then Galactus's hand comes back out of the portal.
Yeah,
It's like, "Oh God!" And then Johnny goes to make the heroic sacrifice.
and says,
And
"Tell
he's like,
Franklin
"Tell his uncle
his
Johnny
uncle
loved him."
I loved him," and he
Now,
goes.
don't worry, because I know this is a bit from the comics where Johnny does make the sacrifice,
Oh,
and
okay.
there's like a fairly famous bit where Franklin's talking to Spider-Man,
Yeah,
and Franklin's like, I think I'm the reason my Uncle Johnny died, and he's like just expressing his guilt, and Spider-Man's like, I know I'm the reason my uncle died, so it can't be worse than that. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, there's a little bonding moment from the comics, but
yeah.
that's what I
That's
was
good.
expecting. And then Silver Surfer
Comes
comes,
back
knocks him out of the
not
way,
and does it.
and spears Galactus through the portal, and
Yeah,
it closes.
yeah. I would have liked Silver Surfer to have hung around. This
Yeah,
is
well,
somehow
she's probably
pushing
gonna
back,
show
but then
back up.
managed to. Yeah, I hope so. But
Yeah.
because I really like Silver Surfer's a great character.
Mm.
Of kind of unbelievable powers as well, right? Been
Mm.
granted them from by
By
Galactus.
Galactus. Yeah.
Um, and a sad character too, because it's
Yeah,
so
very
lonely.
tragic,
Yeah,
given
yeah.
everything.
Um, but she goes through the portal with Galactus. Presumably,
Mm.
she's totally mobile, where he's relying on a ship, right? So
Yeah,
she could just get away from him as soon as they're wherever they are.
ideally, yeah.
So it closes, but Sue has died, and they're
Mm.
all sort of, standing around,
They're
desperate to.
Reed
Uh,
very what looks like quite a while tries to resuscitate her,
yeah,
and then eventually they give up, and Franklin starts crying and reaching out for her, and
yeah.
they
But
put him
then,
on
and
her
then he stops
chest.
crying. He stops
Yeah,
crying. He
and he puts his
smiles.
hand like right in the middle of her like collarbone,
Yeah,
and then she lurches up, and her
yeah.
eyes are glowing.
Eyes go blue, glow blue, don't they?
Yeah,
And then she's okay. She
yeah.
takes a deep breath and she's all right. Um, so they, um,
They have
uh,
won. She's back to life by the power cosmic.
yes. So they are. Um, so yeah, there's a few ending bits, isn't
Yeah.
there? But basically
They do the TV show again. Where it's
yes,
introducing and it's like, and now to introduce to the world, Franklin Richards. But they all get a little alarm on their watches
and have
saying
to
that something's
leave.
going on, and they all
Yeah,
run.
they have to leave. And in fact, the
There's a funny
host.
little bit where they're having to put a baby seat in the Fantastic car.
Yeah.
So,
And also the host says could asks if the baby could wear this little costume, which is their costume with a 5 on it, right?
mm.
But for a baby, and they said no,
And they're
no,
like,
that's not
nah,
happening.
not ready, not really
No,
time for
no,
that.
no. So then we get a mid credit, basically the end credits, which
Yeah,
shows all this cool stuff with Reed Richards. Well, all of them,
yeah.
like
It's a
in
good
photos
montage
and
of
stuff.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
montage.
it's like in-universe press releases.
Yeah, press release, stuff like that. But then it quits, and we see five, and it says 4 years later, or was it 5 years later?
Yeah.
Um, Sue's
Sue,
sitting with the top, the 5-year-old
yeah,
Franklin,
she's reading
reading a
him The
book.
Very Hungry Caterpillar,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
there's a kind of funny bit where he's
oh, we
like,
do
she's
see the robot. We do see the
yes,
robot again, don't
yeah,
we?
Herbie is back
Yeah,
in this after credit scene,
yeah.
but he's Franklin's like, no, no, no. She goes, you want to read something else? Okay, let's get your favorite book. And she's walking around. She has a brief chat with Herbie, and she's like, I'm looking for Franklin's favorite book. And he gets like The Origin of Species by
Yeah,
by
Darwin, and she's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I know he really does that, but there's another one."
It's like no, we read that one like last night,
Yeah,
and then
but
it's like the rainbow fish or something. But
yeah,
as she goes back into the room,
she
she can tell
senses.
something's wrong, and you see a
Yeah,
green cloaked figure standing with
with,
Franklin.
with a metal mask, holding a metal
Yeah,
mask in his hand. So it's Doom. It's Doom.
yeah, it's Doom.
It's Doom. And then there was also a end credit
Yes,
sequence
a
where they
little bit
just
at
show
the
the
end where
cartoons,
yeah,
the intros to the actual cartoon series. It's kind of fun.
yeah,
Um, yeah, this
yeah,
was just very solid,
yeah.
just all the way around. It was really Sue Storm's, and Vanessa Kirby
Mm.
focused, and she carried it
Yeah.
totally. I've always liked her ever since I saw her in a series called The Crown, where she played Princess Margaret in the '60s. She was really striking and good in that.
Mm.
And even when I remember seeing that series, I think, man, if ever they did another reboot of the Avengers, the
Mm.
terrible, the a better version of the
Yeah.
terrible one we saw.
The English Avengers,
Yeah,
yeah.
the English Avengers. She'd be a great Emma Peel. Was my
Mm.
feeling.
Yeah, I can see that.
And she's also been in Fast and Furious, which is fine, but that's a pretty
Mm.
lightweight vehicle, right? Uh,
Mm.
much better in this. Really sells it. They all sell it though. Pedro Pascal sells it.
Yeah.
They're all really good. This is a really solid cast, and I'm very pleased they're going to be in the Avengers movie.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
totally makes me want to see it, knowing these guys
Yeah.
are in it.
I'm curious how, because I know Namor from the second Black Panther film is going to be in it, and Namor
Okay,
famously is really down bad for Sue. So gonna see how
okay,
that dynamic. So
okay.
yeah,
So right, okay.
yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah,
mean, great film.
yeah.
Really,
Very
really
fun
solid film.
film.
Um, it does feel like Marvel have, they've had a few which,
Yeah, they're getting back
but
very much back on their
Thunderbolts
feet.
was like they're all a bit dreary, a bit too
Middling.
downbeat, weren't they? That was the trouble. Serious.
Yeah,
They lost that mojo that they had with like the first Iron Man and things like that, where it's fun.
yeah. That's
Um,
like, well, Shang-Chi was quite good. That was a very
it was
fun
good, but
film. But then
it
it's like Eternals. Yeah,
that was
Doctor
way too
Strange.
serious.
Doctor
Doctor
Strange
Strange was
good,
solid.
but
Yeah.
not especially fun. Thor: Love and Thunder was bad. I haven't seen Black Panther,
No, I
Wakanda
haven't
Forever,
either. There's lots
but
I haven't bothered seeing,
given
but I
what
did like.
happened with the actor, with Chadwick Boseman, I can't
Yeah,
imagine it's a very happy film.
no.
Uh,
Um,
like a lot of the TV series,
Ant
good
Man
but not
one.
great.
No.
So
One Division was all right.
yeah,
The only standout Marvel film since Doctor Strange for me, and
Guardians of the
I'll leave the
Galaxy.
Spider Mans to one side because they're all pretty good. The Spider Mans, right?
Yeah.
Forget that. Is Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I think you just said,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Thunderbolts was good, and
Yeah.
this was good, and it's kind of encouraging, and it makes me
Yeah.
want to see Brave New World to see if some of that vibe is in that.
Yeah. Here's the
Um,
thing, like the films have been so forgettable. We missed out two of them. Like we didn't talk about Quantum Mania and we didn't talk about the Marvels.
no,
So yeah,
I
there's
don't
no
even. Have I seen the I might have seen the
no.
Marvels and I forgot.
I
You know
I
what?
don't think you did. So
I think I might have, and I just don't remember it. Let me
with
just check.
Captain Marvel, Ms.
No, I haven't
Marvel,
seen that.
and
No,
yeah, yeah.
let me just double check because I do remember seeing something like that, but it wasn't that. I think it was Birds of Prey I'm thinking of, which is not even Marvel.
Mm, no.
Um,
I do need to watch some of the TV series because apparently they are good. Agatha All Along is apparently really good. And I've heard some good
yes.
things about Ironheart,
I don't
mainly
even know what
because
that is. I don't even know
Ironheart
what
is
Ironheart is.
so Ironheart is a like she's a black female Iron Man essentially. It's diminishing it a bit, but she's basically a student who has built a power armor, and she's
Right.
very intelligent. Um,
Yeah,
but
no, I haven't seen Marvels. No, I
I got
do.
spoiled for one thing in it, and it's good enough that I think it'll prompt interest from you, because Sacha Baron Cohen plays Mephisto, who is the devil,
Wow,
as
that's a
in
good casting choice.
the guy who gave Ghost Rider his powers.
Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah,
nice, nice, nice.
which is good.
Um,
Could be interesting. So, yeah.
yeah. The thing is, I really liked the Ghost Rider that was in Agents of Shield, played
Mm,
by Gabrielle Luna. I'd really like to see that
mm.
character in something,
Yeah,
but it
maybe it'll
might.
cross back over.
Yeah, possibly.
Uh,
But yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
the
yeah,
Netflix
this
stuff is
was
now in the.
encouraging. This is encouraging because it's
Mm,
made me want to watch Marvel films again. Basically,
yeah,
this is Thunderbolts. Well, Thunderbolts was the first.
yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't see as really part of the Marvel trajectory, which is why, even though I really
yeah,
like that, it didn't make me think, "Oh, Marvel have got it back." I just thought,
yeah.
"Oh,
That's like
Guardians of the Galaxy is
that's
going on."
that's
Spider-Man's the
yeah,
same, right? I just don't
yeah,
really think of it
yeah.
that way. But this is I really liked it. I'm really
Mm,
glad. I almost feel like I remember when Thor was coming out saying this is not going to work, and it totally did
yeah,
for the first film. And this feels like that because I was thinking, oh, Fantastic Four again. But when you suggested it, all right, I'll give it a go. Thunderbolts was good, and also the reference at the end of Thunderbolts. Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I'm really glad you picked it. This was the first
Mm.
watch for you, right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
not seen
for
it
me too.
before, and
So
I think
that,
this has kind of made it so I'm gonna see. Well, I was gonna see Spider-Man in cinemas anyway, but I'm gonna see
yeah,
Avengers now.
yeah,
So
yeah, me too. So I think in a couple of weeks we'll do Brave New World,
yeah,
and just see. Hope it doesn't derail our enthusiasm too much. I'm
yeah,
keeping my expectations real low, and that's going into this, I was thinking, okay, but man, I enjoyed it for the first 5 minutes. I knew I was in. Right, it just
mm,
felt the vibe feels really good. Right, so and they all were really solid cast and
mm,
writing and direction. So very good.
mm.
Right, okay, let's
Okay,
final score. Final for you.
yeah. I put this a very high 8 or a low 9. That's how good I liked it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I also give it a 4 out of 5. So
mm,
8. Very solid. Enjoyable. It wasn't it wasn't up there
yeah,
for me with say Iron Man or um Avengers Endgame or any of that. The real top tier ones, but it
mm,
was the best I've seen in a long time. This and Thunderbolts were both terrific.
mm,
And really enjoyable. Good stories, not your traditional, slightly different. And
mm,
certainly in their approach to dealing with the bad guy. Let's put it that way.
yeah,
Um, so I really, they were using brains to
mm,
try and defeat someone, and things like that in this, and it was emotional. Was the way they tackled it in Thunderbolts. Interesting, different approaches to the
mm,
traditional sort of superhero story. So I kind of like that. Kind of like that.
mm.
All right, then let's wind up there. So bye from me.
Bye.